Well, what a sight this is. A beautiful evening and the promise of a match that will really get the juices flowing.
I'm Peter Drury, and here with me in the commentary box, I'm glad to report, is Jim Beglin.
Thanks, Peter. It's a pleasure and a privilege for me to be here.
Well, it looks like a big game, sounds like a big game. Everyone involved is absolutely up for it.
And we're underway. Jim, you've played in games of this nature. Who can make the difference?
Yeah, Edinson Cavani. He's a top-class finisher, Peter. There's no doubt about that. But it's his clever movement of...
Oh, good effort!
That pass isn't the best. Wriggles his way through. Now, can they get him away?
Cavani with a beautifully timed run.
I think there were a few doubts for a split second, Peter, as to whether he was offside. I think he really got away with one there.
Oh, that's a key interception. Gavi. Looking to play him in. More and more pressure on the ball here. Rodri. Dumfries. Now it's Cavani. Dumfries in acres of space out wide. He's found a way through. That looks a good cross. Garcia deals with that nice and simple. So, Jim, what has caught your eye in these early exchanges?
Well, neither side has really grabbed the initiative, I would say. Both must have come in with a view of not making any early mistakes. So we're seeing some conservatism here.
Goles ended up in no man's land. Aimed beyond the defence.
And he's looking at the referee, and the referee is shaking his head. João Cancelo. If you have just joined us, well, you've missed no goals.
And that's a really buccaneering run he's making. Gavi.
And they can counter here.
He steps in, and that's the end of that. Knocks it out wide.
He's shifting through the gears. Shot, surely! And collective relief etched on the faces of the defenders.
That's great reading of the game, and it led to a decent chance. Cracking aggression.
Lovely pass, but can he get there? He's...
Yamal!
Oh,
Has fallen kindly here. Goal! Porto! And Porto go in front.
Some heroic goalkeeping, but even that couldn't save them this time.
Well, that's great movement from him. He instinctively knew that the ball was going to come back out and put himself where he needed to be. The sort of thing you just can't teach.
You felt it was coming. 1-0.
Look, he's the one everyone expects to put the ball in the net. That's what he's paid to do.
That's a nicely shaped ball. Kimpembe promptly onto that, and that is that.
Applies the finish!
There's a sharp little ball here.
Looks a foul. Yep, referee's given it. And he is going into that little black book. Koke. De Bruyne.
That's going across goal. Expertly cut out, really nicely done. Tries to play it through. It's a promising position. Oh, that's fabulous.
Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
Barcola going... And the shot! Just off target.
Well, I think the defence are breathing a big sigh of relief here. He really spanked that, and it wasn't far away at all.
He won't be happy with that one. Nicely weighted ball. Oh, he's managed to get himself offside. Dumfries. And he's in on goal. Kimpembe, defending his corner stubbornly, stood up very well to his man.
Madrid certainly could do with a positive.
And the shot! Oh, the ball's run loose here.
That's just playing it safe and simple.
Kukçu running with intent. Griezmann. Kukçu. Marco Verratti. He's going for goal! Danny Vivian. Can he get it through? Goes for a shot! And he's stuck it away! They have done it! They have their equaliser!
Well, they were starting to look more and more threatening, Peter, so this comes as no surprise. The fans here are pretty fired up now.
So smooth. A signature finish.
Well, we could be a little critical of that defence then, but the timing was pretty much perfect.
It's starting to look very interesting, this.
This is exactly the kind of contest you'd expect when you have so much class from both sides. The next goal is going to be so significant.
And it's De Bruyne. Looking for options for movement. It's loose now and they want to get it back. Now it's Yamal. Oh, that's a vigorous challenge. And that brings the first half to a close. So it's all squared. Neither side has been able to make a telling difference, but it hasn't been for the lack of trying. So there was the first half.
Well, you have to ask questions how this has stayed 1-1, Peter. I do think, though, that the way spaces have been found in key areas with relative ease will be a real concern, something that needs addressing, and fast.
Well, it's been a tight game, but one that's packed with incident and talking points. A decent watch this, and it's 1-1 at half-time. And so the action is resumed. Oh no circumventing this opponent. Dumfries did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on. Verratti. He's having a pop! Denied by an instinctive save.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
Dumfries. Now that looks a decent ball. Dumfries. The ball goes in. And he's seen that early. Used a certain sixth sense.
Yeah, they were looking for a counter-attack.
Knocks it into space.
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
That's a cute ball. It's played through for him. And this is Cavani. He is through here. Well, the defence proved infallible then. But that won't be the last else. Takes a shot! Loose ball now, and there's a chase on to retrieve it. Barcola. Porto are looking to play on the counter here, aren't they?
Well, I think it's pretty clear they've changed their shape, certainly when defending at least, because they've got to be ready to hit them hard on the counter-attack, and that seems to be the plan.
And it's Gavi. Great vision. Oh, well played, well played. Dumfries. Dumfries carries the ball down the right. Cucurella with the slide tackle there. And that has left him in a heap. Whistle's gone, that's foul. And he has shown him a yellow card.
Se va a producir un cambio de jugadores. El dorsal
So we have movement on both
el
benches.
dorsal 11, Cavani. El dorsal 7, Coque.
And he cuts
El
out the
dorsal
supply.
10 serán sustituidos
Pavlovich.
por el dorsal 13,
Kupchu.
el dorsal 9,
Dumfries.
el dorsal
He's
25,
found support out
el
wide.
dorsal 14. Se va a realizar un cambio de jugadores.
Well, that is good. Super running, sharp movement. Came up against a defender, though, who was ever so determined. No, that's been intercepted. Can he get on the end of this? Well, it didn't look good for a while, but that was brave defending, and they got away with it.
Yeah, they showed a vulnerability until the move was stifled. That'll have stirred a little concern.
Kupchu. Ball's gone astray. It's a sharp pass. Kupchu. Great work on the overlap. Pinches it off him. It's Gavi. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. "75 minutes played. Kupchu, he's had a shot! And how did he not put that away?
Kupchu fully appreciates that he could have won it then, and now he'll be all the keener not to lose it. Well, look, they know they've got a height advantage, and it's time for them to use it.
Solid! No, he didn't quite meet it right. Yamal threads one in, neatly clipped into space. Shot a goal! Now, who's going to be first to this? Another one of football's and how moments. Shaqiri with the short one. Nicely aimed pass.
Porto really can't be faulted for their attitude, and if they go on to win this, it'll be fully deserved.
Looking for the run, and he's made sure that's not getting through. A game with so much to recommend it. Fabulous contest, but still no clear winner.
It's a very open game and an exciting watch. There are no signs of nerves or caginess from either team. This pitch is go-for-it territory right now.
Kovacic. Nicely worked. And that's a simple one for the keeper. 5 minutes left on the clock. Now it's David. Nice interception. His positioning was spot on. And it's Denzel Dumfries. Tries to pass it through. An instinctive delivery.
Habrá un minuto de
Shaqiri.
descuento.
It's Kovacic! Yamal. Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. And that will be the final act. So it is something for both, but ideal for neither. Both parties having to settle for what they get, and hope for better in the weeks ahead.
What are your thoughts on today's game then, Jim?
Yeah, this looked the most likely outcome, but we've had a good variety in this game, despite it being anticlimactic.
And with that, it's time for me to thank Jim Beglin and to wish you a very good evening.